I went 22-4 on my picks. Jackson went 23-3.
Up 2 games.
So he is now up 2 games at 97-23. I'm at 95-25.
97-23, 95-25. Okay.
It's hard to win when you just don't pick upsets. Because, like, I was up 3 games after week 1.
I love that you're starting to make excuses now. Last week you said that. You were like, are you really not going to pick any of the upsets? I'm like, I'm picking all the fucking road games this week.
Yeah, but they was like, oh, Michigan over Nebraska. Like, whoa, okay.
I mean, you never know.
But,
man.
like,
week
1.
Georgia almost lost to Auburn on
That's
the road.
True. I really thought they were going to. But, like, week 1, I picked, like, I got a little aggressive with my upsets, and I ended up being up 3 games. And it's kind of just been downhill. Not even downhill. I'm down 2 games. Like, whatever.
Okay, here's my question for you. So I'm in a sportscasting class right now. We're doing panel discussions. We almost picked this topic, but we ended up going with a different one. Is Georgia still the number 1 team in the country? If you had to pick your top 5 right now, who are in your top 5? And
okay.
Where are they at? Because I want to know what you think about this.
I know you want to put Michigan at 1.
I'm not saying that Michigan is number 1. I'm not saying Michigan's number 1, But
here's the thing.
I don't think.
Yes, Georgia has looked like shaky this year. I just don't know I don't know who I'd put ahead of them though.
You don't know?
The only team I would really consider is Michigan. Michigan or like maybe Texas.
That's my thing. It's either Michigan or Texas. Like I'm not saying undoubtedly that Michigan's the number 1 team in the country, because if they are, like it's a very unusual team to have as the number 1 team in the country.
I think I would keep Georgia. If I had to make a top 5, I would keep Georgia at 1. I'd put Michigan at 2. And then after, I think I'd go Texas 3. I'm going with Washington at 4. That team has looked really good. Looked really good. And then I think I'd put Ohio State at 5. And then I'd put Florida State at 6. I think Ohio State's looked a little. I like Florida State. I think Ohio State's looked a little better if I had to pick. But I would keep Georgia at 1. I don't think any of those other teams has like shown enough to like pass them.
It just really surprised me though with the AP poll showing. I'm looking at it right now. The AP poll for this week, for week 6, Georgia's number 1, Michigan 2, Texas 3, Ohio State 4, Florida State 5. Georgia still had 35 first-place votes from AP poll reporters for them as the number 1 team, which just shocked me because it's like, yes, they're undefeated, and yes, like, they're the reigning national champion and everything, but like, it just... They have not looked like the same team at all.
No.
Obviously, they're a much different team, but like... They're much different. They're a much different team in, players, obviously, but even in skill level, too. I feel like there's not quite the same level as they have been.
With Georgia, you're going to get the defense. You're going to get the really good defense, and their defense is still top tier. I mean, they gave up 20 points to Auburn, whatever. But
that's not the point, though. The point is that it was a really close game the entire time.
I know.
The offense wasn't,
The offense is just... They don't have, other than Brock Bowers, who is just by far and away the best tight end in college football. Like, I'm drafting him next year in all my fantasy football drafts if I can. That guy is a lunatic. But, like, other than that, they just don't have the same, like, playmakers on offense. Like, they don't have a George Pickens. Mm-hmm. They don't have a Darnell Washington. They don't have, okay, as much as I like to rag on Stetson Bennett.
I love ragging on Stetson Bennett.
Carson Beck is he's got some learning to do, I'll say.
Well, it's because it's easy having a 35-year-old man as your quarterback leading a bunch of 18-year-olds to a national championship.
But Carson Beck, their current QB,
with 10 years of experience as a quarterback for the University of Georgia.
Didn't even graduate, by the way.
Didn't graduate?
No.
That's the funniest fucking part about that whole thing. Oh my God, I did not know that, and I can't wait to tell that to people.
Because he didn't. Who is calling me? I am in the middle of something. It's my mom. I'll get to you. I'll
put her on the phone.
Hey, Mom.
Hey, Quincy, how you doing?
I'm doing fine. I'm in the middle of recording Bloomington Buddies. Do you want to say anything?
Oh, I do not. I hope you guys are having a great recording. I'll catch you later.
All right, I love you.
Love you. Goodbye.
I love
I
that.
thought she-
That's fantastic.
I
love
thought she was
that.
gonna actually say something, but she's like, I don't want to bother you.
Damn it. That's
I-
I wish she did say something, but I love just how quickly she wrapped it up. She's just like, nope, I'll talk to you later. I love you. Goodbye.
That was a missed opportunity. I feel
That's
like.
funny.
That was a missed opportunity. Okay, so what was I in that? Oh yeah. So yes, Stetson Bennett didn't even graduate.
That's amazing.
Because oh my god, he was there for like 8 years and just didn't go to class. Like why? At that point, like why would you? Like you're making so much NIL money.
I love picturing him as a used car salesman right now. Like that's where my dream.
he got like I know he got arrested for like public intoxication.
Yep. Like
for a while.
A week after the national championship or something like that. I'm
All
pretty
the
sure.
memes after the national championship were like it was like him partying. They're like, what do you kids listen to nowadays? Or something like that. But he's a lot better than Carson Beck. Carson Beck, I like. He's a real game manager. He won't go out and lose you the game.
He's such a gritty player. You know?
Like, here's the thing: Carson Beck will not lose you the game. But in college football, to win a national title, you need someone that's going to go out and win you a game. You need someone like if you look at the teams in the top 5, Quinn Ewers is a quarterback that'll go out and win you a game. What's his name? Travis for Florida State. That's a QB that'll go out and win you a game. Michael Penix can go win you a game.
Caleb Williams can.
Caleb Williams can go win you a game. Bo Nix can go win you a game. Can Kyle McCord? Can Drew Aller?
If you're talking to Ohio State fans, can Kyle McCord go win you a game? Did you see what he did in the Notre Dame game? Look at the way that he did not let the pressure get to him in that moment. Yeah, because he almost fucking threw a pick and he got super lucky in that final drive there. It was in the guy's hands and he just couldn't make. Oh my god! But yeah, Kyle McCord could handle the pressure. He'll lead your team to a victory.
Can JJ McCarthy go win your team a game?
I mean, I haven't had to have that worry yet so far. And I mean, from last year, I'll be honest. I'll be transparent. In the TCU game, we got close, but no cigar at the end.
I will say he did win them the Ohio State game last year because the whole mindset.
He and Donovan Edwards won the game. Donovan Edwards was on fucking fire.
But
the
especially
Ohio
in the
State
first
game.
half, Ohio State was like, we're not letting them run the ball. We're stacking the hell out of the box. We will give up the one-on-one matchup and make J.J. McCarthy beat us through the air.
Yeah, and he did.
And he did.
He did beat them through the
But
air.
like, come big game time, can he do that again?
That first half of the Ohio State game, yes, JJ won the half for them. Donovan Edwards won the second half. Donovan Edwards was
I think Donovan
unbelievable
Edwards is
that
better
game.
than Blake Corum.
That's something I think my brother actually thinks too. My older brother thinks that Donovan Edwards is actually better than Blake Corum. I don't know if I necessarily 100% believe that, but there's the argument to be had. The argument is to be had.
Are you putting anyone at 1 besides Georgia?
That's the thing is like, I'm with you though, is the thing. And like,
I'm kind of under the impression that this year in college football, nobody's good.
there are a couple of channels on YouTube that I found that gave their polls, and a couple of them had Michigan at 3.
Behind Georgia and who, like Texas?
They had Georgia at number 1. They put Michigan down, and then they put, I believe it was either Texas or Florida State or something like that at number 2. And I was just like, what?
Look, I like
And
Florida State.
Their whole reasoning for it was because they were like, well, you know, Michigan is just like, we know nothing about them. We know nothing about Michigan is the thing. Like, we know they're good, but that's about it. And I'm like, so that's a reason to like knock them down a peg? Like, what? That made no sense.
I guess they haven't played anyone good, and they won't until they won't until week 9. We'll see.
I've been admitting ever since the season started that we don't have a good schedule.
Yeah,
I've been admitting since the beginning that we don't have
that's part of
a
why.
strong schedule.
Yeah, because this guy made a point. He goes, other than Ohio State and Penn State, if you like take the Purdue's opponents like East Carolina, UNLV, Bowling Green, Rutgers, Nebraska, Minnesota, IU, Michigan State, Purdue, Maryland, you make an all-star team of those 10 teams. Like you take the best players at each position from those 10 teams. Do they beat Michigan?
No.
I don't think they do. Like, okay,
The answer is no.
like at QB you could take Tua's little brother from Maryland. okay, you could take Jalen Lucas from IU.
I'm sorry, but that's
But,
the
like, no.
dumbest hypothetical question I've ever heard in my life.
But
That is not at all an argument that I would ever make to belittle Ohio State. And I would do a lot of things to belittle Ohio State, but that's a dumb argument right there. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that was just the point.
Hypothetically, if you had to make an all-star team, which would never fucking happen ever, and then put them all against
But like
just
that
Michigan,
just shows that
is a dumb argument.
that just shows though how bad their schedule is though until those last 3 games.
Again, I admit it's not a strong schedule. It is not, but they've got they've got a lot of the same guys from last year. They've got essentially like 90% of the same guys from last year, you know? So it's still a strong team. And Michigan has proven how far they can go with this
They'll
squad.
sleepwalk to 9-0 and then they'll have their big game against Penn State and then eventually Ohio State. And the jury's still out to see who wins that game. All right, it's time for picks.
Yeah.
So, first game, Friday game, we got 2 just pitifully bad teams. Nebraska at Illinois.
So let's see. Yeah, Nebraska is 3-2. Who have they beaten? Louisiana Tech and Northern Illinois.
Some just powerhouse teams.
Illinois is 2-5 as well.
Illinois is favored by 3.5.
God, this is a bad game.
I'm going to take Illinois just because they get it at home. And Nebraska has just struggled so mightily on the road. In addition to them struggling in every game, they just struggle even worse on the road.
I might just play to show you up. I might take Nebraska for this one, just for a different sake.
Because Illinois is also bad.
To make the race a little bit more interesting, you know, and to make this game more fun to watch. So
Illinois is also bad.
Illinois is
They
bad,
got
yes.
trashed by Purdue last week. 44-9 to a bad Purdue
Remember
team.
when you were trying to tell me last week, you were like, Illinois could make some noise a little bit. I'm like, nah, Purdue's going to fucking stomp them at home. Like, Purdue's not good or
I
anything,
also picked
but, like,
Purdue.
Purdue's going to fucking stomp them.
I thought it would be a close game just because Purdue had also not looked good, but yeah, they're better than. I think IU might be Illinois when they play. That's how bad Illinois is. I'm saving the Texas OU game for last.
Texas OU game, okay.
Them and Georgia Kentucky are the 2 games of the week.
Okay.
So I'm going to save those for last.
Okay.
Next one.
I'm excited for that Georgia-Kentucky game.
Next one. This is a team I've been hyping up a lot, and they've lived up to the hype that I've given them so far, at least. That's Maryland. They're 5-0 with 5 particularly not close wins, including taking our beloved behind the woodshed for 3 hours and just giving them a big old-fashioned beatdown.
Our beloved.
44-7 against Indiana. Indiana, thank God.
44-17.
44-17, my bad. At least they're on a bye this week. We don't have to watch them play. But yeah, I watched the first quarter of that game. It was 20-3, and then I turned that shit off.
Yeah, that wasn't a good one.
They got to go at Ohio State. Do they make like any noise in this game, or do they give Ohio State a scare? Maybe.
I think they can definitely contend. I'm not going to say that they're going to win the game or anything.
Ohio State's favored by 20 for those.
I think they can. I think they can make a little bit of noise this week. I don't think they're going to win. Give me Ohio State for this game, just because it's going to be really, really hard to win in Columbus.
I think if this game's at Maryland, like if it's like a night game at Maryland, we got a whole different story.
It is. It's different. The spread is much different.
But I will say Maryland plus 20, not looking too bad if I'm a betting man, which I'm not. But
put down $10 or something like that on the game.
I am going to take Ohio State, but I think Maryland will at least hang around for the first half.
Yeah, I think I'm going to take Ohio State for this one, but I am excited for it because I think Maryland could make some noise with it.
Next one is
could at least scare them.
All right. Do you know the only 3 undefeated SEC teams left?
The only 3 undefeated. So Georgia, SEC teams. Shit. God, I don't anymore. Actually.
All right, it's Georgia.
LSU is not undefeated. No, they're gone.
They
gone.
got 2
They're
losses.
done. They're done. They're
it's
done.
Georgia, Kentucky, and Missouri.
Seriously.
And Missouri plays.
I forgot Mizzou was still
Missouri plays LSU at home this week.
Oh, this will be a good one.
Do they stay undefeated?
God. Do we know what the spread is?
LSU's favored by 6.
Oh.
They did beat Kansas State at home, but other than that, it's some struggle games. Like struggle against Vandy, 7-point win against Memphis,
Yeah.
4-point win over Middle Tennessee. I unfortunately think LSU's going to beat them and beat them badly. Because okay, if you want to talk about like what Missouri has going for them, they got a decent quarterback.
A pretty decent offense.
Luther
overall.
Burden is a dog. That's their top receiver. He was a 5-star out of East St. Louis, which, by the way, is just the best high school sports-wise in Illinois. Like, what's it called? My mom was a cheerleader in high school, and she said that one of the guys on their high school basketball team played at IU. I can't remember his name, but they had a guy that played at IU, like under Bobby Knight. And they made the national title, the state title for Illinois in basketball, and they got murdered by East St. Louis. East St. Louis just stomped them. But Luther Burden, great receiver for Missouri. I just think LSU's better.
God, I almost want to. I'm going to take Missouri. I'm going to take Mizzou.
If Missouri wins,
give me the
they're in the
Tigers.
national title. Not that. They're the national.
No,
I slipped. I meant to say national conversation. I didn't mean to say national title conversation.
I think Mizzou.
This is in 2007.
It's a home game for them. Yeah, LSU's going to be tough, but I think they could pull it off. I think they could do
They
it.
definitely can. They definitely can. We'll see. Next, we got Rutgers at Wisconsin.
What have these two teams been up to?
Just
Rutgers is 4-1.
they're both just kind of mid.
Or no, Wisconsin's 4-1. I mean, Rutgers
is 4-1. Wisconsin's 3-1.
I can't do math. Yeah, yeah. Rutgers is 4-1. Okay.
Wisconsin's favored by 13.
Really? They're favored. Okay.
I think they're gonna win too.
Think Wisconsin.
Rutgers is kind of a paper tiger, in my opinion.
I like the offensive performance from Wisconsin. But you know what? Just again to keep it interesting, I'm gonna go with Rutgers. You took Wisconsin?
Yeah,
All right, I'll go with Rutgers.
he fell for the trap. He fell for me saying he don't pick no upsets.
Yeah. I did fall for the trap, and you know what? I'm gonna be up 6 games next week.
6 games.
Betting on it right now.
All right. Next, we have an undefeated Marshall going at NC State.
The hell has NC State been up to?
They lost
3-5.
to Louisville. They're 3-2.
Or Jesus Christ, I can't. I'm 3-4-5 is what that would be. 3-4-5.
NC State's favored by 6.5. Does Marshall come in and, I guess, keep their undefeated season alive?
Who's Marshall been playing?
They beat Virginia Tech, I know. Who, by the way, did actually beat Pitt badly last week. I got to apologize to them and Baylor, the two teams that I've really been making fun of a lot. They both got good wins. They both got a win over Pitt, and Baylor beat UCF. So you know what? Sorry, I'm sniffling like a motherfucker.
I might do NC State for this one. It's a home game for them.
Yeah,
I think they could snap it.
I'm gonna agree. I think this is not like I don't think they're gonna come out and like overlook them. I think I think NC State's gonna actually put their best game out there and beat Marshall because. Like, if Marshall was, like, unranked, or I guess they are unranked, but if they, like, had a loss or whatever, they may have I don't know. You guys get what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. Next, 13th ranked Washington State is at UCLA.
UCLA has only lost once.
They lost to Utah.
Lost to Utah, but kept it close, though. Only 14-7 loss.
Utah lost to Oregon State. That was one of the games that I got right. That was one of the games that actually saved me a little bit.
God, you're lucky.
I will say Washington State they're a gritty team. They know how to grind down wins when they need. They're just an incredibly gritty team. They are though. They
just
are.
because you said that, it makes me want to take UCLA because you said
don't-
Washington State's gritty. But unfortunately, I do have to agree with you. They've just fucking stomped everybody that they've ever
This is
played.
a
They've
team
put up
that-
a lot of points.
This is a determined team that is trying to get a conference to take them.
God damn.
It
Man.
sounds like the Big 12 might be taking Oregon State and Washington State.
The ESPN matchup predictor for this game has UCLA winning 66.5%.
They're favored on the spread too. They're favored by 3.5 on CNs.
Give me Washington State, man. I think Washington State's gonna do it.
They're gonna find a way.
Yeah,
I'm
they're gonna find a way to win.
I'm also taking.
They've put up that shocks me given the number of points that they've scored this year so far.
50,
One game they
31,
scored
60.
64 points. Yeah,
They're also coming off of a bye week, and well-coached teams do not look like shit after a bye week.
yeah.
That is something that will
Prove it
really
now.
that will give you a sign of whether a coach is good or not. Is how well their team looks after a bye week, and they're coming off a bye week. I think they win. Next
I think they
game,
got this.
Virginia Tech at Florida State.
Give me Florida State.
You know, Virginia Tech, good job beating Pitt last week. That was a game we both
Nice
got
job.
wrong, but
Nice job.
Florida State should win.
Yeah, give me Florida State.
All right, next we got what has honestly becoming one of the best rivalries in the SEC just because of the bickering that these two coaches do and the fact that this is the only team that Texas A&M prepares for all year. Texas A&M hosts Alabama.
Did they beat Alabama last year? I can't remember. Texas A&M beat somebody big last year.
So that was the year A&M was like 5-7, but they almost did. That was like the
That's
only
right,
game they prepared
yeah.
for like all year. They lost by like 6.
I swear they beat someone big last year. I'm trying to remember.
They beat LSU at the end of
That's
the
right.
year, I think.
That's what it was. Yeah.
This is going to be a huge game, and both these teams are they're the only undefeated SEC West teams in conference play. They both lost an out-of-conference game. Bama lost to Texas, and I lost to Miami. What is this, 2002? I don't know. But this could be for the division. Could very well be for the division here.
This is going to be a good game. I mean, both teams only have one loss so far. I mean, God, the fact that A&M lost to Miami, though, is just such a...
They got thrashed by Miami.
gave up 48 points in that game.
All right, I'm going to pick Bama. Also, did you watch any of the Arkansas A&M game?
I did not. No.
Okay, if you watched that game, that looked like two bad teams playing. Both
Arkansas and A&M.
they just neither team looked that great. I think A&M will hang around because it's their Super Bowl pretty much. It's a home not night game, 3:30 kickoff.
Yeah.
Still though, Kyle Field's going to be insane. Bama's only favored by 2. They'll have
Seriously?
yeah.
I don't understand the spread anymore this week. Like, this week is like the exact opposite of what I think. the
They'll
spread
hang
would be.
around. They're just not as good as Bama. They're just not.
I think I got to play it safe and go with Bama, but I would be very excited if Texas won this game.
Yeah, it'd be good for them if they won. Here's the thing: even if they beat,
They're definitely ranked if they beat them.
they're probably top 15 if they beat them.
I don't know about top 15 because they still lost to Miami.
They'd be the only undefeated. Well, that makes Miami look really good if they beat Bama. But even though I don't think Miami's that good either. Well, I don't know.
I think they
we'll
would.
see.
I think they'd be in. Well, top 25 is not saying much. They would definitely be ranked, I think, if they
All right,
beat
we only
Bama,
have
obviously.
8 minutes. We kind of gotta go quickly.
Yeah.
All right, quickly. Syracuse at UNC.
UNC.
I agree. Purdue at Iowa.
Oh, God. Caden McNamara is out now. So.
Is he really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. I think he broke his shoulder bone or something like that.
I still think Purdue. I can't talk. I still think that Iowa wins just because they still have the defense.
Yeah.
And is whoever they have after came back to America going to be that much of a downgrade?
Not much. But yeah, I'd say Iowa. I'm going to go with Iowa.
Wake Forest at Clemson.
Give me Clemson.
Clemson.
They're at home.
They almost pulled it out against Florida State that 1 week, but
Yeah.
they just couldn't do it.
Clemson.
Revenge game. Vanderbilt at Florida. Vandy did beat Florida last year.
They did. Florida lost last week to Kentucky.
They got embarrassed by Kentucky. That was an embarrassing loss.
It was an embarrassment, yes, but it was also a road game and all that. I'm gonna probably go with Florida. Yeah, Vanderbilt's not good.
Vandy lost to UNLV.
Yeah,
so
Vandy's not good. So.
UCF at Kansas. Kansas damn near beat Texas. They came really close to winning that game.
UCF at Kansas, you said?
Yeah. UCF just lost to Baylor. I'm gonna take Kansas.
Yeah, give me Kansas.
I feel like I'm about to sneeze like every 2 seconds. Sorry. Colorado at Arizona State.
This is definitely a game. Yeah, Colorado, I think you can go on the road and win this one. Yeah, Arizona State's not good this year.
They're bad.
They're
They
bad.
still scored 28 on USC, which I'm telling you we'll talk more about USC when we get there, but that USC defense is going to cost them at some point. Every year there's a Lincoln Riley led
That's the thing about that team is like they're really good, but their defense is
Every
like
year
not-
there's a Lincoln Riley led defense that costs.
They got
the
beat
team.
by Arizona State. Got beat by Fresno State 29-0.
They damn near lost to Southern Utah. God. Michigan at Minnesota.
Michigan.
The battle of the little brown jug. I read up on the story about that. Basically, Michigan's coach like left his brown jug at the stadium, and Minnesota's coach like took it in like the 1800s or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Hey, I want my jug back." And then Minnesota's coach said, "Beat us, and you can have it back." And they've just been like trading it for 100 years now.
Some traditions in college football are so fucking dumb.
I like it. I think it's great.
It's funny, but like, it's like really. That's the origin story.
All
for
right,
it.
next Notre Dame at Louisville. Louisville's 5-0 and ranked. They're in the same spot Duke was. They get the game at home.
Here, Louisville. You said.
I'm taking Notre Dame. I think Duke is okay. Duke should have won that game, dude. Duke was so close to winning that game. They allowed up 13-14 and allowed a 4th and 16. You cannot be doing that, man.
And they gave Notre Dame the exact same treatment that they gave Ohio State after they beat Notre Dame. They're like, oh, Notre Dame wins a gritty win over Duke.
over Duke.
Over Duke. Oh,
The thing is, though, Duke's a hell of a lot better than Louisville. I got to see Louisville play in person. They're not that great.
Yeah.
This is a team that couldn't score in the second half against IU and needed a goal line stop to win that game. I think Notre Dame wins.
Give me Notre Dame. For
Even
this
though
one.
it's a home game for Louisville, I think Notre Dame will win. Arkansas at Ole Miss.
Ole Miss.
Ole Miss got a great win against LSU. Great win against
Yeah.
LSU.
Really good. Really good.
Georgia Tech at Miami. I'm just waiting for them. I think Miami wins, but just so y'all know,
Georgia Tech is just not good, though.
Georgia Tech's awful. They're awful. Almost beat Louisville though. I'm waiting for the Miami collapse. I'm waiting for them to get embarrassed at UNC next week.
Watch this be the week that it happens, though.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Give me the U.
Georgia Tech's pitiful. All right, I was close to making this one of the feature games because I think this will be a really good game. Fresno State at Wyoming. This is a real gritty Wyoming. I'm gonna stop. I'll stop.
Oh my God.
I'll stop.
The title for this episode is going to be a real gritty episode of Bloomington Buddies.
I'll make that the title. I'll make sure I do that. But
A lot of gritty matchups in week 6. How about
this
that?
is a Wyoming team that their fans will pop out, especially against a ranked Fresno State. Wyoming if they played a cupcake instead of Texas, they'd also be ranked. And they almost beat Texas. They were tied with Texas in the fourth
I was
quarter.
gonna say they made the game interesting with Texas. Is the thing?
I think Wyoming wins it at home.
God damn it! I wanted to do that, but I want to be different now because I think we've only disagreed on 2 games so far. So,
So you're gonna take Fresno?
yeah, fuck it. I'll take Fresno State.
I really quickly want to see a spread because Wyoming's got a good team. They will make. I think Wyoming will make like a decent bowl game, not like a New Year's Six or anything, but like
I'm gonna seem like the guy that's playing it safe because I'm in the lead, but I really actually did want to take Wyoming for this game.
Fresno's favored by 6. That's a lot more than I don't know. I'm kind of surprised. Why I don't know. We'll see.
ESPN's got him at a 60% winning.
I think Wyoming wins. All right, two very mid Texas teams. My friend sent me a picture. There's actually like an old like World War II battle that's called like just the Battle of Mid. We got Texas Tech and Baylor.
Texas Tech and Baylor.
Texas Tech's 1 point favorites. Baylor's at home.
God. I'm gonna go with Texas Tech for this one. I mean, I mean, oh God,
You know what?
yeah.
Just for the sake of being different,
I don't even think this is a battle of mid teams. I think this is just a battle of bad teams.
I'm going to take Baylor because they are coming off of a win and they're coming back home. They got some momentum. I'm going to take Baylor.
I'll take Texas Tech.
All right.
They beat Houston 49.
Now I got to watch that game and be stressed about it. God, jeez.
I mean, Texas Tech has been able to put up some good numbers.
TCU
so yeah, I'm gonna take
at
them.
Iowa State.
TCU at Iowa State.
I think TCU wins
Lord.
pretty easily.
Yeah, give me TCU for
All
that
right,
one.
real quick, Colorado State at Utah State. I just needed another game.
I know nothing about Utah State. I know Colorado State isn't that good.
Whoever you pick, I'm picking the other team.
Seriously.
I'm not kidding.
Oh, jeez. I'm going to go Utah State, I guess. Yeah.
Colorado State's favored by 2, so it's like a really
Really?
close. Yeah.
ESPN's got Utah State winning 71%.
The actual spread. So you're taking Utah State.
Yeah, I'll take Utah State.
All right, then I'm going with Henry Blackbird and Colorado State.
God.
All right, next Oregon State at Cal. We're taking Oregon State.
Yep.
That's not even a question. And then Arizona at USC.
Give me USC.
There's gonna be a game. I don't know what game it's gonna be. There will be a game though throughout this season where this USC defense costs them. It costs them big.
I don't think it's going to be against Arizona, though. If anything, it'll be next week against Notre Dame.
Or Utah. They got Washington and Oregon 2 of the last 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. All right, featured game time. Undefeated Kentucky heads into Athens to play the number 1 ranked Bulldogs. If they win, they're the only undefeated team in the East, or besides maybe Missouri. Does Kentucky have what it takes to pull off the upset?
If you asked me last week, I would have said no. But now that I've seen how Georgia plays, I mean, granted, it was a rivalry game against Auburn and everything, so that's definitely something to take into consideration. I'm going to say Georgia still walks away with it, though.
I think at home they come out and perform, and they win.
Yeah.
Just because it's at home.
Yeah.
If it was a road game, I would think about it. Even if it was a road game, I think I'd probably still take Georgia.
You think so?
We'll see. All right. Game of the week. Oklahoma and Texas. Why this is always a noon game just pisses me off. Like, make this a night game, at least sometimes. The FPI likes Oklahoma at 54%. This is an Oklahoma team that has been flying so under the radar. They haven't given up more than 20 points in a game yet. They got a stud at QB in Dylan Gabriel. Dude, I think this is a really evenly matched game. I think more than people. I'm always the first to rag on Oklahoma just because their defense is always so bad.
Mm-hmm.
But Brett Venables, defensive-minded coach, had an awful defense last year. But my friend's like, just give him a year to get some players. And I'm like, oh, no, they'll still be bad. Well, he's got his players in, and he's got them playing well.
I mean, it's not much saying it, but he did give up 20 points last weekend against Iowa State. So, and I'm sure a lot of that was
garbage time.
I was going to say, I'm sure a lot of it
time.
was garbage time.
I'm
too,
not
so it's like
too concerned about that. I think this is just Texas is favored by 6.5.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm gonna take Texas. I did all that. I did all that hyping up for Oklahoma, but Texas thrashed Bama's defense, who's also looked really good. So it'll be a great game. I think Texas
really
wins
good.
like 31-28 or something. I think Oklahoma would stay in this game, which is something I would not have said at the start of the year. At the start of the year, I would have had Texas winning 49-0 like they did last year. This is an Oklahoma team that's coming together. I don't think they'll win, but it'll be a good game.
For the sake of building up tension and suspense, I think I'm going to take Oklahoma. I'll take Oklahoma for this one. It'll be a fun matchup. I think they'll definitely stay in it. I really don't care about either of these teams is the thing. But
I don't-
I know it's going to be a fun matchup and it's going to be a good time. I think Oklahoma will definitely keep it close in the game.
So you're taking Oklahoma?
I'll take Oklahoma.
We have a lot of differences.
was gonna
Nebraska,
say, we
Illinois,
got a-
different. LSU, Missouri,
got a
different.
lot of
Rutgers,
different, yeah.
Wisconsin, different. What else is different?
Washington State. Did you already-
Utah State, Colorado State is different.
Yep.
Fresno State,
You
Wyoming.
told me straight up you were just going to pick the
I'm
other
like,
one
I'm
against
taking whoever
Utah.
you don't, just so this game's more interesting. I like that I got Colorado State in that one too, though, because I think they got some confidence from that Colorado game. We'll see. We got to
We'll
get
see.
out of here. There's someone after us, so
Yeah.
take care, everybody.